everyone. Welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. I'm your host, Tricia Carr. Now, this episode is about past life and reincarnation. And I'm actually sharing with you an excerpt from a class that I taught in my community in my Mystic Arts Academy, which is a platform where I teach twice monthly. I teach workshops 2 times per month. It's very freestyle. It's very much channeled. It's very experimental and experiential. And so if you're interested in that, you can go check out the link in the description or go to my website, triciacarcharm.com, and find the link for learning. And so in every now and again, even though this is offered to my private community, my Mystic Arts Academy, I like to share an excerpt from it because I really feel like led to, And so what this episode is an excerpt from the class on past lives and reincarnation, but it's also the group journey that I offered, the meditation, but it's really like a hypno journey that helps to lead you into reviewing a past or parallel or future life. And so this episode, at the end of it, we have a really long hypno journey offered by me to you. So you can listen to it here and you can earmark it. And if you click down in the description, you'll be able to find the timestamp to be able to jump right to it. Or you can also click through in the description. You'll find a way to actually purchase this hypno journey. And that will be my offering to you. So find it here, or you can purchase it for a really affordable cost. Enjoy this past life reincarnation journey and class. So reincarnation and past lives. Now, our minds can get really blown when we start to talk about these things because we are taken off the limits. Even when we just start to think about past lives in a linear sense, in that directly before, March 17, 1974, which is my birth date, there is a linear time that I lived. I had another life. And then another one before that, another one before that. Or maybe there was some kind of break between the lines of starting this life and the previous one. And I was, cruising around the universe or being a spirit guide. But there's this line. And that can be helpful to us to observe these topics, this idea. But even just doing that and thinking of it in a linear sense, and then when this life ends, there will be a period and then another rebirth. And it's just almost like an energy being reused. I just get this image. I grew up in Texas, and so my mom had a Crisco can full of bacon grease and stuff. And so it started out as Crisco. You start with the Crisco, and then you cook the stuff, and then you pour it back into the can, and then you get this real seasoned grease. It's disgusting. I don't do this anymore. I don't know. I mean, I never did it, but that's how my mom was brought up to cook. And so that's what it's like. It's almost like there's this pool of energy, and then you're using it, and then you put it back in, and then you're using it, put it back in. It's getting seasoned and everything. So that's kind of the idea of a linear reincarnation process, a linearity to past lives and a progression of these lives. Even if we keep it that way, we've taken some limits off, right? There's no more just we're born and we die. And it's even greater than we're born and we die and we float off to heaven, like a lot of traditional religions, or at least the Western Christianity perspective is, and then that's it. There's one life and then you go to heaven or not. And so we're taking off the limits. And then if we take off the limits a little more after we kind of say, oh, okay, well, then maybe I can look at a life that I lived, that this soul energy created in the 1800s. And in that life I was a man. Oh, that's weird. Oh, and it seems like the person who's my husband now was my daughter in that life. Oh, weird. This is weird stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's kind of opening things up a little bit more, taking the limits off. And then we get into the concepts of time is an illusion. But see, we're already there. We're already there with time is an illusion. Because what we've done is we have taken an open-ended concept, eternity. If this energy of mine, the soul, is eternal, and it can live this life and then another life, even in a line, well, all we've done is we've drawn a line in a big space of nothingness. But that's just a way for us to see that there's something in that big space of nothingness or everythingness. So then we say, okay, well, time is an illusion. Well, then that means that, oh my gosh, I guess I can experience my parallel lives and my future lives. And why not? If I can go backwards, why couldn't I go forwards? And how much more real is the past than the future? I mean, because why don't I visit my future lives as easily as my past lives? And what's the point? Because if I was a man in the 1800s, but I didn't know, I don't know that now. I'm clearly this, expression. What's the point of remembering that? All right. So anyway, this is where our minds go, right? We start to really blow our minds. But here's the thing is that we can actually see that we already do that in this life, even if we don't take the limits off. Because in this moment, I can recall a memory from being 11 years old. And as I'm recalling that memory, first of all, I'm actually creating it right now. So it's not accurate. Even when I was experiencing it, it wasn't holistically accurate because it just depends on what I'm filtering. We're always filtering energy. In crime scenes, it's such a pain in the ass for cops to take eyewitness testimonies because it's like, oh yeah, it was a purple man. It was 6 feet tall. No, it was a little child doing this thing. You know what I mean? Like it's because eyewitness testimony is so unreliable because people are always perceiving and filtering information differently. So as I create this memory in the moment of being 11 years old, my whole being is experiencing it. So my being in that moment, to some degree, is 11 years old, having that experience. And now, like I say, to some degree, because it's sort of inside, I'm having a dual experience. I'm the 46-year-old person having an 11-year-old experience, but there are energies purely being 11 years old having that event. And well, so in this life, we can say, well, the reason that I would recall a memory, let's say it was wonderful or traumatic. Well, the traumatic one that I recall, it's because I can learn something from it and I can grow from it and I can feel better. And, having grown from the traumatic thing that happened, something that's wonderful, likewise, you know what I mean? I can grow from it. I can appreciate life. And so there are benefits to it. It's really not that different. It's just we are including our universal identity when we're looking at reincarnation, when we're looking at our past, parallel, and future lives. We, in truth, the way to kind of either, again, tangle it up or untangle it more, we are reborn in every single moment. In this moment, this reality is the one that this point of perspective, this soul energy, is emphasizing. This is the most real reality. And yet I can be having sub-realities within it. Same thing with the past lives and the parallel and future lives, is that we can bring them in and run those stories, or let's call them experiences, whatever, run those, and to the point where it's beneficial, identify to them, and stay still in an observer position. But what's interesting when we do it with other lives is that if we can stay still that neutral, where we're actually not totally identifying to this life either, then we can do some of that marrying the experiences. Now, we end up back grounded. The point is this experience. But when we're able to detach from it and be the watcher of it, to be the observer, that's when we can start to absorb and integrate all of what is beneficial about the parallel. And, well, parallel is probably what we could call all of the lives, all of the experiences. So we are an accumulation of all experienced energies. Being able to bring our awareness to it and release it by seeing that, oh, that was there to teach me something. And whereas when we have these parallel timelines going on, then sometimes it's like when they're in our unconsciousness, we can just sense or metaphysically hear the echoes of it, and it can throw us off a little bit. If you're not easily letting it go, then maybe there's something a little bit more to observe about it, you know. But those lives that we review, parallel or past, they are contributing to now. So when I do some kind of past life review, and I always just do it on my own, it's always, sometimes I will do, the intention will be something that will help me with this subject of my life or just my life in general, but it's usually a subject. It's usually I'm like, I feel like I don't know if you want to say stuck or something like that. I feel something that I need some, some clarity about. And so I go in knowing that whatever is happening there are themes that have to do with this life. If you can really feel and you can see that life and say, were there other, what was there to learn about the witch being persecuted and, being martyred even? What was there to learn? And when we're looking at those, they're usually exponentially larger examples than what we're actually, because, you're not going to be burned as a witch right now, but you can feel rejected if you speak out, if someone judges you. And so it's like exponentially tinier, but you can still, just like by watching a movie and watching The Notebook, you can say, love is so true and it's so wonderful. It never dies. You know what I mean? By watching someone else's dramatic experience in a film or reading a book. So yeah, if it's sticking with you, then maybe go into meditation and either look at that life or something, or just ask for something, whether it's another life or another parallel reality, an imagery experience that will clear up anything that because I don't feel like, and you're one to kind of get obsessed about it and hang on to it. That is something that people can do, like to start to go like, oh yeah, I have this identity now. I'm a persecuted witch. You know what I mean? Like, and people can get carried away with spiritual concepts and get frightened by them. And that's just probably people that haven't really spent time in their own energy. And taking a break from this episode to share with you about something that is coming up. Registration is open for the Channeling Intensive taught by myself, Tricia Carr, and Crystal Ann Compton. Now, this is a live, online, 8-week, immersive educational and experiential program. This program is designed for you to open your divine channel to higher consciousness, cosmic intelligences, and source energy. The 2020 Channeling Intensive begins the week of October 11th. This is an innovative and groundbreaking intensive designed specifically to connect you to spirit so you can draw down potent, useful, and transformative energy. If you've never been in a program like this, I encourage you to check it out. Now, this program is for intermediate to advanced students, and what we mean by that is students who are not afraid of the world of spirit and those who already know how to meditate or have a meditation practice. We will meet live and online for education and group coaching over the course of the 8 weeks. Expect your life to change drastically as new information, energy, revelations, and love pours into you, through you, and by way of spiritual channeling. I encourage you to go to the information page to read all about this 8-week course and also to find frequently asked questions. Now you can click the link in this description, or you can go to learn.lightworkerslab.com/2020 If you're interested in metaphysical concepts such as frequency states, dimensions, densities, cosmic guides, and how to practically implement this knowledge into your life. And if you are seeking a community of like-hearted healers and believers in love, then check out the Channeling Intensive. Crystal and I are excited to meet you and to work with you. And now, as we segue into this hypnotic journey, a guided experience into reviewing past or parallel lives, a reminder that this is to be done when you are in a secure place. Do not do this while driving or doing anything that is important that requires your full conscious awareness, critical thinking. In fact, I would like to invite you to set a sacred space and time to move into this work. And the following sacred hypnotic experience runs about 33 minutes. You will be awakened at the end, brought to wide awake and alert to be able to go about your day. And if you have never experienced hypnosis or hypnotherapy, a reminder that I am a certified hypnotherapist. And the following journey will be utilizing hypnotic techniques. Any and all things that you experience will be just right for you. If you are a meditator, then it may seem very familiar to you, as meditation is a mode of hypnosis. My best advice is to just follow the guidance and allow yourself to explore. And let us begin. Welcome to your sacred practice. In the journey upon which you are about to embark, we will call in the intention to experience imagery, sensing, knowing, as it pertains to past life, parallel timeline, the energy of your soul creating experiences. And so the intention is set that which is in the highest good for this time-space reality, for this divine incarnation, will be reviewed. Any and all things that you experience are exactly right and in alignment with your divine intention to learn, to expand, to grow. And with these divine intentions set now, easily let them go, let them go. For letting them go allows them to marry to the unconditional one energy. And so to activate the inner sensing, for we go within to experience the universe. Let's connect with the breath, the divine breath of life. Placing your awareness on the breath naturally allows it to become deeper and easier, slower and fuller. And at your own pace, you're invited to take 3 very big and deep, expansive breaths, allowing them to expand deep into the pelvic floor and high up into the heart. Giving yourself the suggestion of how pleasurable it is to breathe in, breathing in spirit, bringing your presence to this delicate and faithful gift of the divine breath. You're allowing the breath to become its natural, soothing, comforting pace. And these breaths now have sufficiently given the signal that it is time to awaken the inner sensing, turning on the imaginal senses, the senses which bring imagery of the inner seeing, feeling, and knowing, any and all of the senses benefit that intention for the highest good. And now, following my guidance to tune up the senses, visualize, have a sense of or a knowing of a swirling and very comforting breeze. A swirling breeze, curiously, playfully, just the right temperature. And it's now beginning to swirl all around the top of the head, swirling around your head. Imagine or have a sense of its pace, this swirling. Does it move fast? Does it move slow? Does it modulate? And perhaps it is playing with you. You're invited to consider that this swirling breeze moving gently and playfully all around now your head is indeed playing with you, communing with you. As it swirls around, the body becomes relaxed. The inner senses naturally, organically tune up even more, and so it swirls around now the shoulders and the neck. If it has color, if it has a tone to it, allow it to be as it swirls around now the chest and the arms, the front, the back, all around, and even somehow as if it can penetrate and move through your body for this energetic breeze. It permeates in the most pleasurable, satisfying way now, all around the lower arms and the abdominal region, the hips, the pelvis, whirling around all of your fingers and your hands, wrapping around, communicating the calm relaxation and the inward turning. Around the thighs, the knees and calves, all around your ankles and feet, and where you notice that you are connected to the seat beneath you or to the earth in some fashion. And the swirling breeze now, begin to notice or even have a knowing of a plane upon which you are seated, a different kind of plane, one that is a special place. As this breeze swirls around, now it brings your awareness to a different kind of terrain. So the breeze, it expands in its gentle and playful swirling. From the connection that you are having to the earth, the breeze enhances it and let some colors, let some senses fill in about this place upon which you are sitting. And the breeze, and its expansion is now swirling up again and moving all the way up and around your being in a wider path, all the way up to include again the top of the head and up and out. And as you visualize, have a sense of this breeze expanding even more, seeing that it brings awareness to a scenery, a landscape. And in a moment, as you allow this breeze to do what it is doing, and noticing all around and inviting you now to bring your awareness back to the core of your being, around your heart center. And in a moment, I will count from 5 to 0. And with each count of 5 to 0, you will feel an enhanced awareness of that point deep in the center of your being, as it also marries and connects to an expanded awareness of the breeze and the landscape, the scenery that it is creating, to where the limits are taken off. The senses become one with the unconditional energy of it all. And with each count, this awareness marriage becomes even more profound. And at 0, you will find yourself in deep inner clarity. And now at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. That complete marriage of awareness of the unconditional energy. And if you are still with the breeze now, you are invited to allow the breeze to become a kind of carriage. This playful breeze now, it swirls around you and beneath you, almost like a cloud that creates levitation. It's an invitation from the breeze, from this energy that is co-creating this journey. And perhaps it is like a knowing that this journey, this plan was made long ago. And having a sense of the plan being formed in some other time, space, perspective. Just that awareness draws to you a deep presence with all of the potential, probable, parallel experiences. And so now the lifting and floating is beginning, gently and playfully being lifted up. And a lifting and floating as you are moving from the scenery and as you're lifting and floating now, very comfortably and expertly as well, visualize or imagine that you are passing through the cosmos, passing through fields of energy, lines of time. And the pacing is just right as you float and lift. And perhaps you may be curious if you could change the pace of this lifting and floating. And if that is something you would like to do, you may co-create it and play with it. And as stories go, journeys lead to experiences. And so as you're passing through cosmos, fields, lines, there may be a sense that there will be a touchdown again. And in this open landscape, this open cosmic view, taking a moment as the calibration of the right experience. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 5 to 0, and with each count, you will be gently, comfortably moved down to a plane, a reality, an experience. And as we reach 0, imagine or visualize, have a sense that you are opening your eyes to look at your feet now at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Touchdown. Visualize or have a sense that you are standing on a plane, some kind of terrain. And look down at your feet now and look at the plane upon which you stand. And now follow your sensing. Follow your sensing up your own being. The energy that is you. Discovering the who that you are. Noticing what you may look like and what it may feel like. And if even you have a sense that you may be making the choices, this is your awareness of the co-creative process. And so allowing and observing. And begin to look around now. Begin to have a sense around. And notice what you notice. Is it a period of time? What is your identity? Is there any doing? Any happening? And as these images and knowing fill in, know that you can also be outside of the picture as if watching a dream. You may be the actor in the dream or the watcher of the dream. And as your intention was to experience that which is in the highest good, that which facilitates growth, learning, evolution. This indeed is what is being shown to you. This experience, this real experience of your life. And so now take the next few moments, spend some time now asking what key themes are here. The doing, the identity, what it is that contribute to your learning as a soul complex and as it pertains to that reality back on planet Earth. And spend that time now. And now, in this experience, you have, in another planned part of the journey, you have placed an anchor, a sort of gift to yourself from yourself. And so, where you are now, you may hold out your hand or allow to appear before you some symbol or item that, as you place your awareness upon it and receive it, you will activate exactly the right attunement within you that you have been planning. From the omnidimensional perspective, all of the parallel, past, future lives all together have co-created, co-inspired to give you this gift, for you have raised your vibration to exactly the right, heightened point to receive this activation. And so when you're ready, receive this item or this symbol. Draw it into your being however it seems right for you. This will click into your program, knowledge, energetic attuning, all that leads to a greater sense of joy so that it may overflow. And perhaps that overflowing will move right to your purpose, your mission, the service, that which you have designed to offer the universe through your energy. This symbol, this anchor, activates it now. And this activation, this download will continue to unpack. And you may continue to co-create this unpacking of the download by allowing your awareness to drift to this symbol, this anchor. In the nows, in the presence, moving forward. This anchor magnetizes to itself the images, the experiences of this journey, and as they begin to fade, they move into this anchor and move into you like nourishment to continue to sustain and evolve your being. Thus is the purpose of the one and of the all. And so now perhaps you imagine that cloud again, your vehicle, your friendly vehicle that brings you to the inner sensing and the experiences that benefit you, and now stepping on it. And as you step on it now, knowing you have your anchor, you may feel a satisfaction or perhaps an excitement that this is the process of creation, of embodiment and integration, And so, like a child waiting for a special celebration, this is the journey of your life. And you're carried gently, gently down now. On this vehicle, this cloud, this floating, moving past the cosmos, the lines of time, moving in your embodiment and integration process, the walking of this journey. And in a moment, I will count from 0 to 5. And with each count, you will become aware of this embodiment, this integration. You may feel a welling up of well-being and gratitude and appreciation and excitement to continue the journey. And at 5, touch down on this time-space reality of Earth to continue to walk and live your purpose. And now it's 0, allowing that anchor to fully activate within you. And with 1, floating down now at 2, beginning to really sense your home of the earth. At 3, coming back into your body. At 4, taking a deep breath in, that divine activating breath. And at 5, finding yourself in your room, remembering where you are, the identity that you are now. And at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, opening the eyes, wide awake and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another deep integrating breath. Wide awake, alert, remembering your anchor, and excited and delighted about this purpose, this journey.